Polite Inquiries, the Royal Edition, Episode 2 with Jimmy Neesham. What's up, Jimmy? You know what to do. Come on. Razi, who apart from you has the best Twitter game in the Rajasthan Royals and who has the worst?
Yuzi Chahal probably has the best. He's around and about the Twitter atmosphere, I guess. And Daryl Mitchell will be the worst. He's not involved all that much.
Sudarshanan, on Twitter or on the field, which is the more interesting or exciting place to be during the death overs of a T20 match?
Definitely on the field. Obviously we've had a few games already in the IPL go down to the wire, and you'd certainly rather be out there than on Twitter or carrying the drinks. Really, you'd rather be out on the field in the 11th. So,
Denny Lawrence, Jimmy, if you get a chance to open the innings for RR, would you like to do that?
Look, never say never. It's sort of part and parcel of being an all-rounder that you have a whole lot of different roles in the team. But I think with our team makeup, guys like Daryl Mitchell and Rassie van der Dusen on the bench as well. There'd probably have to be a couple of injuries before I got the call up to open the batting. But more than happy to do it if required.
I think you'll open in a super over, won't you?
It's happened a couple of times, So
Hara Srikar, name one youngster from the RR camp you saw and went, geez, this kid has got some talent.
We've got a couple of guys. We've got Kuldeep Sen, who's a fast bowler who bowls really quickly and was hurrying a few guys up in the nets, over the couple of weeks before the tournament started. And we've also got a guy who's probably a bit more well known, in Rian Parag, who is a really powerful middle lower order batsman and hasn't had much of an opportunity yet this tournament. But I'm sure when he does get a chance, he'll has more than the ability to light up a game.
He's a heck of a dancer as well. Rian, has he taught you anything as yet? Any of those moves just yet?
He was actually dancing a bit last night. Obed McCoy was getting a few pointers off him, whereas I think us Kiwis sort of just sit down in the corner and have a couple of quiet beers and watch the other guys go about their business.
Your kind of music?
I believe there was a bit of Gangnam Style. Brown Eyed Girl came out. He's got interesting taste in music, surprising taste in music. He likes songs.
Yeah. Quite varied. Samsonite, who is the funniest in the RR dressing room? You can name yourself if you'd like.
Yuzi Chahal is pretty funny. Obviously, Trent Bolt is funny in small doses. I've spent a lot of time with him, so he's, we try and get away from each other a little bit during the IPL. But he's pretty funny as well. We've got a good dressing room group. Even Kumar Sangakkara can come up with a joke every now and then, which is, lightens the mood a bit. So we've got a good group.
Karthik, who's the most difficult to get a laugh out of in the RR dressing room?
No one really. Everyone's pretty happy to have a laugh. I guess Sanju can be a bit focused on the game sometimes. If things are going a bit awry and you crack a joke, he kind of just has a look at you and moves on. But we'll break him by the end of the tournament, I'm sure.
Adit Shyam, which shot of Sanju Samson is your favorite?
He played a back foot punch off, I think it was Washington Sundar in the first game of the tournament, where it was a little bit short and a little bit wide, and I think 95% of batsmen would have cut it to deep cover for one, and he managed to rock on the back foot and hit it for 6 over long off, which I thought was a pretty ridiculous shot.
Ridwan, a glorious match of the past worth live tweeting?
Well, avoiding the obvious. Our group match against the West Indies in the 2019 World Cup, where Carlos Brathwaite came out and scored 100 and almost beat us. I think, obviously the 400 plays 400 game, Australia-South Africa a few years ago. And the IPL final where Malinga got LBW to win the game.
Arham Ashraf Ali, share something that we don't know about Ross Taylor.
Oh, something you don't know about Ross Taylor. He's a really good person to talk to about off the field, endeavours like investments and all that kind of thing. I think he's obviously knows a whole lot about cricket, and everyone's talked a lot about his cricket brain and how much experience he has in that aspect. But he's also a very knowledgeable person off the field when it comes to setting yourself up outside of cricket as well, which is useful for the young guys.
Isn't that just a New Zealand thing? I know Fleming's like that. I know Brendan McCullum's pretty good to talk to. Do all the Kiwis just know their money and not handle their money?
I wouldn't say Baz is the most responsible with his money outside of cricket. I think Flair I probably haven't had much to do with, but I know there's a lot of horse racing and stuff that goes on with those lads. It's probably not the most prudent way of investing your money.
Rohit Bishnoi. Jimmy, we want to see you and Ashwin discussing cricketing stuff together on his YouTube channel. Let's make it happen. Have you been offered it?
I think I've already been on Ash's YouTube show. I think a couple of years ago I was on, but a lot of water's gone under the bridge since then. I'm sure we can think of some new subjects to talk about. So I might be on for a sequel later in the tournament.
Speaking of which, Sunay Mukherjee. Do you guys play the World Cup to beat India, or does that just happen magically?
Yeah, we were discussing this the other day, actually. Yeah, it seems to be one of those things that has happened over the last few editions. I think in all three formats now, which is pretty pleasing. I think when you come from a country that has a quarter of the population of Mumbai, and you can take down a team with 1.4 billion or so people, it's obviously a pretty exciting moment. And I think it might have got a few of the boys a couple of deals in the IPL as well following those tournaments. So I think everyone's happy all round.
And of course, I'll add my last inquiry. I'm sure all the RR fans, especially given the timing of this recording, just less than 24 hours after the game against RCB, heck of a game, would want to know, when are we seeing Jimmy Neesham in the 11? Next game, Jimmy?
Who knows? Obviously, we've got some tactical decisions that we've made, with lineups around the tournament, and especially the type of pitches we're playing on at the moment. So, that's something I'm always ready to go. Talking to Kumar every day, and just trying to train as hard as I can. And if that opportunity comes, then that'll be great. But if it doesn't, more than happy to continue helping out the lads with the drinks and the banter.
Isn't that such a proper answer, Jimmy? Isn't that the proper, perfect, well checked answer? Well done, Jimmy.